is good? It's your boy, Austin Wayne, the gambling degenerate, and you are now tuned in to another episode of The Answer Key. Well, if you guys got the questions, you come here and get the answers, and the locks, and the picks, and predictions, everything you need to know right here on this channel. You know, we had a pretty good record for picks on week 3, but I can promise you we're going to do better than that for week 4. A lot of money to be made, a lot of underdog upsets. So go ahead, remember, it's a vibe to subscribe. Tell your friend, your mama, your uncle, your girl, your bestie, everyone you know to get on this channel. Hit me with a like, subscribe. We had a great week of football ahead of us for week 4. I'm not wasting any more of y'all's time. Let's jump right into it. All right, week 4. Let's get it. First game of the week, Thursday night showdown, we got the undefeated Miami Dolphins heading to Cincinnati to play these Bengals. I know Tyreek Hill had a lot of smack to talk about Eli Apple in the interview. I know Miami's traveling because of the hurricane. They ain't got much time to practice. I do think this is a trap game. You know what? I think it's weird that the undefeated team is not favored in this matchup. I am going to take the Cincinnati Bengals outright in this matchup. The spread is 4 points. I'm also going to take Cincinnati in this. And last time that Tua played Joe Burrow, it was a shootout. The total is 47 points. I think this is a trick. I'm taking the under. Everyone's going to be watching this. No need for touchdowns. Such a defensive showing with Miami and Cincinnati. I'm taking the under in this matchup. Under 48.5. Moving on, we got the first game in London of the year. We got the Minnesota Vikings heading to London, to play these New Orleans Saints. I think that Dalvin Cook is not going to play this matchup. If he does, he won't be used that much. And I did see the connection with Chris Olave last matchup. The spread is 3 points favored in Minnesota. You know what? I do think London wants to see the gritty, but I think that Jameis gets it together with Chris Olave again this matchup. I am going to take the underdog, the New Orleans Saints, in this matchup. I will take them +3, and the total is 43.5 points. I'm taking the over in this, so 42.5, just because I think that both offenses are going to be explosive. That's my final answer, over 42.5. Moving on. We got the game of the week. We got the Buffalo Bills heading to play Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. This is going to be the game of the week, like I said. A lot of points in this matchup. A lot of points, but not enough to cover the total. The total is 51 points flat. I have the theory, like I said, 2 high-flying offenses cancel out, makes a lower scoring game. So I will take the under 52.5 points in this matchup. I do think that if Lamar can beat Josh Allen in his house, that this proves his worth for his contract. I talked myself into it. The spread is 3 points favored to Buffalo. I'm going with Baltimore in this, +4 points. I'm going with Baltimore straight up, and I'm choosing the under 52.5. We're rolling. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears heading up to New York to play these Giants. I know New York just lost Sterling Shepard. I do think Chicago's run defense is going to be enough with Roquan Smith to stop Saquon. The spread is 3 points favored to New York. I'm not rocking with New York. I think I'm rocking with Chicago and Justin Fields in this matchup. I'm taking Chicago Bears +4. I'm taking them for the money. And the total is 39.5 points. Like I said, I do think this is going to be a running matchup. I'm taking the under 40.5 points in this matchup. Final answer. Moving along, we got the Cleveland Browns heading to play these Atlanta Falcons. I have been sleeping on the Browns this year. I need to start giving credit to Nick Chubb and Jacoby Brissett. But I am starting to see the connection between Marcus Mariota and Drake London. I do think Arthur Smith is a better play caller. So I think the spread is 1.5 favored to Cleveland. That's not enough for me. I'm taking the home team with the home field advantage. I'm taking Atlanta at +3 points in this matchup. And for the money, a lot of underdog upsets this week. And the total is 48.5 points. I think this is going to be a fantasy match galore. I'm taking the over 47.5 points in this matchup. A lot of points to be scored. Moving on. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars playing the Philadelphia Eagles. What a matchup this is going to be. Super shocked that the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Chargers last week. I do think Trevor Lawrence is on a roll. The spread is 6.5 favored to Philly. You know what? I am rocking with Jacksonville at plus 8 in this matchup just to keep it closer. I'm starting to see things work out with Doug Peterson's offense. Marvin Jones looking good. Zay Jones looking good. Christian Kirk looking good. Travis Etienne coming back on the scene. I do not think they win this matchup, so I will take the Eagles outright. And the total is 47 points. You know what? I'm taking the over. I do think this is going to be a high-flying matchup. So over 45.5 points. I'm taking the Eagles straight up, and I'm taking Jacksonville at plus 8. We're rocking. Next matchup, we got the Chargers going to Houston to play these Texans. You know what? I was surprised that Jacksonville beat the Chargers, like I just said. The spread is 5 points favored to the Chargers. Yeah, they got Keenan Allen coming back this week. I think I'm rocking with the Chargers at -5, so I'm taking them outright. And the total is 44.5 points. I do think Davis Mills gets it together, and whoever the quarterback for the Chargers is, the Texans defense is just not good enough for me. I'm taking the over 42.5 points. Let's rock. Moving on, we got the New York Jets going to Pittsburgh to play these Steelers. You know, Steelers got their butt whipped by the Browns last weekend. They have had plenty of time to prepare for this matchup, but I do think the factor of Zach Wilson coming back makes a difference. His connection with Elijah Moore is going to shine, I think. And I think if Pittsburgh Steelers lose this game, then it gives a clear go for Kenny Pickett to come in as the starter. I'm taking the New York Jets at +4 in this matchup. I'm taking them for the money, and the total is 41.5 points. I'm taking the over. I do think Zach Wilson is going to put up points. So over 40.5 points for me in this matchup. Call me crazy. Moving along, we got the Seattle Seahawks going to play these hype Detroit Lions in the Detroit Lions house. I just don't think Geno Smith is good enough. DK Metcalf had a pretty good game last weekend, but he's going up against Okuda, and I just don't think that the Seahawks line can handle this Detroit pass rush. The spread is -4 in Detroit for the home team. I'm taking that outright. And then I'm taking them for the money line. And then the total is 48 points. I don't think Seattle's offense is good enough, and Detroit is that good on defense to me. I'm taking the under 49.5 points. We're rocking. Moving on, we got the Tennessee Titans heading to Indianapolis to play Matty Ice and these Colts. You know, the Colts played a great defensive game against the Chiefs last weekend. I was totally surprised. I think everyone was. Tennessee got lucky against the Raiders. They had Derrick Henry doing a lot in the first half. I think that Tennessee keeps it rolling in Indianapolis. The spread is +3. It's 3 points, favored to Indianapolis at home. That's not going to be enough for me. I think Derrick Henry runs wild in this game. Traylon Burks starts to shine a little bit. I'm taking Tennessee Titans at +3. I'm taking them outright for the money. You know what? I'm thinking about it here. Call me crazy. Reverse those picks. Reverse those picks. I'm going to take the Colts in this matchup. You know what? I think that they're going to run off some hype. Excuse me. Mike Vrabel got lucky last weekend. The Colts are going to take this matchup at -3. I'm taking them outright. And then the total's 42.5. I'm buying it down over 41.5. Sorry to flip my pick last minute, but I thought about it. Anyway, moving on. I'm allowed to do that. This is my channel. Moving on, we got the Washington Commanders heading to Dallas to play Cooper Rush and these Cowboys. Cooper Rush has been on a roll. Washington Commanders got some things to work on, but you know what? I do not think that Dallas beats 2 divisional opponents in a row. I'm rocking with Washington Commanders in this matchup at +4. I'm taking them outright for the money. And then this is a 41.5 total. I'm taking the under in this matchup. Under 42.5. Defensive game. Yeah. Moving on. We got the Denver Broncos heading to the winless Las Vegas Raiders, which is my team. We are the only team in the NFL without a win. You know, Denver Broncos offense has been nothing special, but their defense has been quite improved. Las Vegas Raiders is favored in this matchup by 2.5 points. I do think that the Raiders get their first win of the season. Everyone thinking Denver's going to make these Raiders 0-4. I do not see it happening. I think Devontae Adams has a good game. Darren Waller steps up a little bit. I'm taking the Raiders at -2.5. I'm taking them outright at home for their first victory of the year, baby. And then the total is 45.5 points. This is going to be an under. Denver's defense is too good. Vegas offense still got some things to work with. Under 46.5 points. We're still rocking. We got the New England Patriots headed to the Green Bay Packers house to play A-Rod. A-Rod just took down the GOAT. And I know New England Patriots are without Mac Jones, Brian Hoyer. I just don't think he's going to be able to do it against this Green Bay secondary. They are favored by a lot, 9.5 points. I got to choose Green Bay in this matchup. -8 is what I'm taking. I'm taking them outright. And the total is 40.5 points. Like I said, New England offense is nothing to shine about. I'm taking the under 41.5 points in this matchup. Moving on. We got another great matchup of the GOATs. We got the Kansas City Chiefs hopefully going to Tampa to play these Bucks. I don't know if they're going to let this game be played there because of the hurricane. Let's see here. I do think that Tampa Bay's defense is better than the Colts. And Tampa Bay gets Mike Evans back this week. The spread is 1 point. KC is favored in this matchup. I'm not doing it. This might be the last time you see Patrick Mahomes play Tom Brady. I'm taking the Bucks at -2 in this matchup. I'm taking them for the money. And the total is 45.5. Regardless of Tampa's defense, Pat Mahomes is just Pat Mahomes. I think Tom Brady keeps up with him, though. I'm taking the over 43.5 points in this matchup. 26-22, 26-24, something like that. Moving on, we got a great divisional matchup on Sunday night. We got the Monday night, excuse me. Los Angeles Rams heading to San Francisco 49ers. You know, the 49ers, I'm pretty sure, are going to be without Trent Williams, which will make a difference in the 49ers run game. Aaron Donald's going to have a show, I do believe. This is going to be a hard one for me. I think everyone in the world expects the Rams to win this matchup. I do believe the San Francisco 49ers have a pretty good record against the Rams at home. I'm taking the 49ers at -1.5 in this matchup to prove these Rams wrong. They are favored at home, so I'm taking the 49ers outright, and the total is 42 points flat. Like I said, I think this is a running and defensive matchup. 49ers come back at the end, under 43.5 points. Now, we've been on a roll. We did pretty good for our picks for week 3. If you guys enjoyed this content, go ahead, hit me with a like, hit me with a subscribe. Let me know what you think. Until next week, my friends, let's get some money.